You're back for more Counterpart here on BuzzChomp. I'm Dan Salem. We're diving into episode 7 of season 2. It's all about the spy games because we know the backstory. We kind of know everyone's agenda. Now it's time to double cross one another.
I'm Mandy.
I'm Dan.
Subscribe to
BuzzChomp. Woo! I was a little nervous how Counterpart would return from its origin story episode. Because it basically laid it on the table for us, right? We know such and such, but most of the characters don't know. Claire has an inkling that management's foul. She has an inkling that her terrorist cell is foul. Peter has an inkling. Both Howards have inklings. Emily sort of knows the truth, but we, the viewer, had the most information about how this all started, what went wrong, who's in charge, and whose agendas are fighting who. The greatest line of this episode, I believe it was Howard who said, this is all just family infighting in management. Basically, one side's grudge, the other causes this whole mess and the terrorists and all of it. That is 100% true. That is what we discovered in the origin story. He said it. He didn't want to believe it because it's so petty and ridiculous and so many people have died. But it's true. It's the family drama. Mira, Yannick, her dad, or her other dad, management, the 2-5 groups. Only Emily and Howard know, but not both Emilys and not both Howards. This is Ultimate Spy Games, however, because Claire is being posed life-altering ultimatums, which will have ripple effects for everybody. She discovered that all of her buddies in the school were actually living together on our side. She was the only one isolated. That stinks. Also, she knows, like with her fact, that Mira and Pope had her parents killed. She now has a daughter, a family, and her child is of both sides. It is one of both worlds. No counterpart. Very unique. She has to protect that child. I'm not sure what decision she's going to make, but it's going to be the decision that protects her child. We saw it though. We saw the cracks. She doesn't really care about, quote, protecting Peter. She cares about protecting her child. But she's not going to play out the terrorist agenda. And I think that unless her buddy there is blinded by love, he kind of knows it's coming. I said this earlier in the season. I thought our Peter was going to get killed and other Peter was going to be forced to take his place. Man, Claire's dad sees that his daughter is not the same person, yet it doesn't clue him off that the counterpart switched. Peter, if they switched, would be a night and day change. That dude stayed in the jail cell, but it's going to happen. They're going to switch. That whole family's going to be a swap, and it's going to go to hell in a hay basket, if that's the expression. Not quite sure. Howards, they are just spiraling out of control. Other Howard, Howard Prime, on our side, is being forced to partner with Claire and Peter and our Emily. We knew this. He's doing it reluctantly, but he really is kind of like caught in the middle. He's caught. He's trapped. Our Howard, on the other side, still also kind of trapped. Yet, he took a bullet for other Emily because he's actually asserting himself in a nice, positive way. He is not giving in to the evil demons. And this is the point of Counterpart, in my opinion. Just because both things exist doesn't mean both things can't exist. Yes, there are situations where the two will become like one. But the whole exists because of the two and because they are different. Opposites balance each other out. If they become like the same, perhaps that's when they actually destroy each other. What I'm intrigued to see is, how can Howard fix this? Because him and Emily, other Emily, have the most information. They want Ian, yet they got double crossed by Ian. Howard is going to be healed because he's on the other side because of the medicine, I believe. But then it also is possible that he will pass away, which would be unfortunate because he was the hero of the story, and I don't want our hero to die. But most of the people have survived thus far, and they're not all going to make it through the end of the season. Mira's plot to meet management is also devious. I wouldn't be surprised if she just had them all murdered in the little Haiti there thing that they're going through. But they have to also think that that's possible. And if all of management's dead, I don't know how the show continues, so I don't see that happening. There are a lot of people's counterparts we don't know about yet, and this is super interesting to me. As the spy games continue, we are going to be forced to pick sides ourselves. I am still sticking by our Howard because I really want him to stay good through all this. I'm also rooting for Claire now. She's got a child. she's really second guessing her decisions. I think she's the one with the most power, the most to lose, and I'm really curious how she chooses to play this out and how she sides, because she could be the one that flips it one way or the other. Do the terrorists win? Do the not management win? Does management win? She can choose. There are actually 3 sides now. There are 3 sides. I'm Dan Salem. Subscribe to the BuzzChomp YouTube channel. We got more Counterpart videos every week. Comment below. What do you think Claire's going to do in this show? Did I miss a spy game? Who's your favorite character? There are a lot of open questions as this season moves towards the climax. Woo!
Thanks for watching BuzzChomp.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Share.
Woo!